Good afternoon and welcome to Halacha A, number 781 and 782. Halacha A keeps the Yetzer Hara away. Today we're doing two halachas because you'll see they're really relevant. They go hand in hand. And we're starting a new chapter, so exciting. The separation of challah. Now, as an introduction, there's bread, lechem, and there's challah. The Hebrew word challah really means dough, separating the challah, the dough, right? So, not like what we call bread on Friday night Shabbos, holidays, we call it challah. But just you should know that really the challah comes from the laws of separating the challah, separating the dough, and making a bracha before you make bread for Shabbos or for holidays. Here we go. Dough which is made of the 5 grains. Can you name the 5 grains? Wheat, barley, spelt, rye, and oats, okay? Wheat, barley, spelt, rye, and oats. So, dough which is made of any of those 5 grains require the separation of challah. When you're making the dough, you got to separate a piece. Before separating challah, the following blessing is said. Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvos v'tzivanu lahafrish challah mina isa, which means you are the source of all blessing, our God, King of the universe, who made us holy with his commandments and commanded us to separate challah from the dough. A kazayas of dough is then taken and burned in fire. Now, a kazayas is a certain measure. There's different opinions. One opinion is it's only 1.5 ounces. One says 0.97 ounces. One says 1.7 fluid ounces. Now, what's interesting is, take bread here, for example. One slice in this package of bread is 1.6 ounces. So, according to this opinion, one slice would pretty much be a kazayas. But, it all depends on what type of bread you have. But that's going to be important. You got to separate that amount. And usually they also say it's like the size of a matchbox. So you take the dough, you separate it, you make that blessing, and then you burn it in the fire. The custom is to burn it in the oven in which the bread will be baked. Okay? Now, what is the minimum amount of dough from which you must separate challah? Imagine just making a small batch. Do you got to separate the dough? Do you got to make a blessing? That's the question. An amount containing 5 quarters of flour, which is equivalent to the displacement of 43 1/5 eggs. So says the commentary here, opinions as to the amount in pounds and ounces vary. According to most authorities, if 2.5 pounds of flour are used, you separate challah, but do not recite the blessing. So you always have to separate. The question is, do you have to make the blessing or not? The amount for reciting a blessing varies between 3 pounds and 10 ounces to 4 pounds and 15 ounces. And generally they also say 5 pounds, right? And that's why you have 5 pounds of flour. If you use the whole 5 pounds, then for sure you have to make that blessing. Okay, a little longer today, but that's the laws of separating challah, making the blessing. Thanks for listening. The sponsor for Halacha 36-100 for the gold. We'll see you tomorrow.